girl. I'm a policeman. Don't be afraid, okay? Little girl.
Damn! Somebody, he needs some milk.
Ah, yes, The Walking Dead. This show is, I'm not gonna lie, one of, if not the greatest, it might just be the greatest zombie show, form of zombie adaptation. I'm pretty sure it is the GOAT when it comes to that genre. And I'm not gonna lie, this show is lengthy. This show comes in 11 seasons, not to mention the spin-offs too. The spin-offs, fair warning for however many more Walking Dead videos I have coming out. I have not seen any of the spin-off shows just yet. I will be getting into those one day. But for now, I have to finish watching all of the thousands of other TV shows and movies that I'm already starting. Now, where do I begin with The Walking Dead? I guess we should just start with our main protagonist, Rick. Rick was your average Joe, you know, police officer, sheriff, and he and his buddy Shane are having a normal day, a normal Monday, you know, chopping it up, eating burgers, whatnot, and they're waiting to get a call. And once they finally do, they head out to the pursuit in motion. Now, as they're stopping these criminals, Rick gets shot in the action, and this leaves Rick hospitalized for months, if I'm not mistaken. And when Rick finally wakes up, to his surprise, everything has gone to complete shit. He can barely stand on his 2 feet, he can barely breathe. That boy needs some milk. That boy looking a little lean, I'm not gonna lie. And he finds his way out of the hospital room, only to find out that the entire hospital has been ransacked and turned completely upside down. There's shit everywhere, there's lights out, there's ominous noises coming from locked doors. Those damn locked doors.
No more locked doors! Gracias!
And when he finally makes it out of the hospital, he's shocked to find out that he may just be the only man left alive. Now, this is one of my greatest fears, like waking up to just see nobody, like nobody is freaking insane. And as he makes his way back to the house, he can see that his family is not there, and he immediately thinks of the worst.
Oh, no.
As he's trying to cope with this, he can see somebody walking in the distance, and you know, this might just be the thing that he was looking for. This might just be the thing that he's been waiting for. All this time he was confused. Now he may just finally get the answers he was.
Daddy! Got this son bitch, I'ma smack him dead!
And now he's knocked out. As Rick wakes up, Dwayne and Morgan try to explain to Rick that things aren't exactly what they seem to be. Like that person Rick saw walking earlier wasn't actually a person, but what Morgan refers to as a walker. Now, in this universe, zombies don't exist. Zombies are not real. Like, there are no zombie movies or video games, comic books. There are no zombie adaptations that I know of in this universe. So, zombies do not exist to these people. And that's why Morgan refers to them as walkers. As Rick is able to get up on his 2 feet, the three head to the sheriff's station where they're able to clean up and load up on some gear. And Rick hands Morgan a walkie-talkie to stay in touch with him, which, spoiler alert, he never uses again. But he hands Morgan the walkie-talkie, and the two go their separate ways. Now, as Rick is heading to Atlanta to try to find his family, he tries to use the radio station to get in contact with anyone, which he comes in contact with an unknown group. However, he can't hear them back. He can't hear what they're trying to say. As we find out shortly, Shane, Rick's old sheriff buddy, is in this group as well. And Shane is trying to figure out a way that they can go out and find this anonymous person. Unknown to Shane, it's his old sheriff buddy. Once we see Rick again, he comes across a barn and finds a horse inside of it, which he decides to take for the rest of his trip. And as Rick is making his way to the city, he notices the city is packed with zombies, and I mean infested with zombies. And this puts Rick in a very, very tight situation. I mean, talk about a rock in a hard place. He's literally trapped between two hordes of zombies stuck underneath a military tank. And just as Rick is about to turn his brains into zombie jelly, he he finds an opening into the tank and barely escapes. And at this moment, he can hear somebody calling into the radio station from inside of the tank, which we come to find out is Glenn. After the two meet, Glenn takes Rick back to his hideout. And this is where we meet Andrea and T-Dog and whoever the fuck this nigga is. We also get to meet Merle, who, in my opinion, is definitely the biggest racist in this show.
That is not on. I can see only black things.
And Rick does not take kindly to this, causing Rick to handcuff Merle to a pipe on top of the roof. And just as everybody is panicking and trying to leave, T-Dog freaking drops the key to the handcuffs, causing Rick and the group to leave Merle behind. And just as they get back to the camp, Glenn explains to everybody that they made it back thanks to the new guy that they found in town. And just as Rick walks out, he's not only surprised to find his best friend Shane here, but he also finds his wife and his son. As he's telling everybody exactly what happened to him and where he's been at all this time, he thanks Shane for protecting his family and keeping them safe while he's been gone. But unknown to Rick, Shane and Rick's wife, Lori, have become very, very close in this time that Rick's been gone.
That motherfucker's cheating!
But we're gonna put a pin in that for the moment. And the next day, we can hear Carl crying out for help as we see a walker chopping down on a deer. And the group shows off a great display of hood jumping as they beat the shit out this walker. I mean, they beat this zombie like he was an op on the block.
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up. Fight back! Fight back!
They hear something else in the woods, only to find out that it's Daryl Dixon, the brother of Merle. And Rick has to explain to Daryl that he had to handcuff Merle onto the rooftop. And Daryl, of course, is not too happy about this.
Stupid. I'm not going to let you get the chance.
And so now Rick forms a group to head back to the city to go save Merle. But Shane is not happy about this because he feels like every man should be at the camp in case there's another walker lurking around. And this is one of the first times we start seeing Rick and Shane start bumping heads. You know, they start going at each other. However, Rick still takes the group and they head out to go save Merle. But to Daryl's unbelief, the only thing left on the rooftop is one of Merle's hands and the bloody handcuffs. Back at the camp, a walker sneaks in and kills Andrea's sister right before Rick and the group could get back. And we see Shane slowly start to blame Rick for incidents and things like this over and over again. This becomes a very common theme into the future. As the group recovers, they come across the CDC, or Center for Disease Control, and here they find the only doctor remaining, Dr. Jenner. And as everybody is celebrating and having a good old time, Rick notices that Dr. Jenner is hiding something from them. And once he finally comes out and says it, he explains to them that he's the only doctor remaining left because everybody else either left to go be with their families or opted out. And the one sample for a cure that he did have working on got destroyed, and he's been the only one here left to try to fix everything. But with the building running low on power, it begins to initiate a full building decontamination, or to put it simply, setting the air on fire. Just as everybody is beginning to leave, Dr. Jenner tells Rick something very important, and we don't quite know what it is yet until the next season. However, we can tell by the look on Rick's face that it's something very important. And so as the group barely escapes, we see one of the biggest explosions that we've ever seen in this entire series. And just like that, the group begins to head out once more, and they continue on to their journey to try to figure out exactly what's going on and how to try to find a cure for all of this mess. Now, that's going to do it for this first part, guys. This is only the first season of the show. If you guys enjoyed this, please make sure to leave a like and comment down below and tell me exactly what you enjoyed about the show. And with that one, boys and girls, I'll catch you all in the next one. And watch out for those walkers, man. Straight up.